Nigel, is actually selling off. So from the top of the day, the stock has lost close to about 2.5%. So let's get the intraday chart of TCS. And it's also dragging the other IT majors like Infosys with itself. So Infi too continues to lose ground ever since its numbers. So about TCS, it was a fairly muted quarter for TCS. So their revenues and margins came in below what the street was anticipating. Revenue growth was at 1.5%. The street was working with 2%. Margins came in at 25.7% versus estimates of close to about 26%. The key problem areas for the company are BFSI and retail. BFSI is nearly 40% of their revenues, and their revenues declined by about 0.4%, while on retail, it's more than a 10% contribution to the top line, but retail declined by about 3%. On BFSI, the management still says or maintains that, the client conversation is fairly optimistic. It's just that the spending has been delayed by the BFSI clients, though they are hopeful of it coming back and getting reflected in the TCS numbers, with the BFSI recovery taking place in Q1 and Q2 of FY18. So things should start improving very soon. However, on retail, the management commentary seems to have changed. Earlier, they were talking about a cyclical downturn, which basically means a short-term downturn. Now they're talking about a structural downturn, which means it could be far more elongated or prolonged. So while, the management said that for retail, FY17 may not be a negative growth here, but it will definitely be a single-digit kind of a middling, growth here for retail. So not very optimistic about retail. On F518, again, very low on details, but the management is saying that it will be an incrementally positive year. Not too sure how to read that because, last year, exactly a year ago, I was trying to, recap the commentary. They said it will be they said F517 will be a strong year. And look what happened. Constant currency growth came down from 11.9% down to 8.3%. So despite the management saying it will be a strong year, the growth slowed down considerably. So once again, they're saying that growth will be, incremental. It'll be an incrementally positive year. It's hard to read it right now. On margins, again, they're saying that 26 to 28% holds, but it's not a guidance. They're now calling it an aspirational guidance. So, how tied in will they be to this particular range? We'll wait and watch, especially in light of the currency, movements, etc. So on the whole, it seems quite muted. But earlier this morning,